We're in Rome! The city of Rome is absolutely filled to the brim with iconic historical and cultural sites that bring in over 10 million tourists per year.
This year, that includes me and Katie.
We have got the next 3 days in Rome to see as much as we possibly can of the Eternal City.
Follow along for the next 72 hours. See if we survive. Quick intro for those who don't already know us. Typically, we drive around our converted camper van through North America. Right now, we're on an Italian road trip. We want to make the most of our time here, see lots of history, learn a little bit more about the city, and see what Rome has to offer. Do you see what's up there? It's the Coliseum.
That is so freaking cool. I mean, y'all know how pumped we were about Pompeii, and now we're about to see even more.
Well, hang on to your hats because we're going to see the Coliseum tomorrow in full detail.
But for now, we'll admire it from the outside. I forget what this is supposed to be.
Risotto.
Oh, risotto. Okay, yeah.
At the famous Spanish Steps. Just us and a couple thousand other people. But what can we say? Everyone's just trying to get their picture. Next, we are walking to the famous Trevi Fountain. At the moment, we are feeling so energized. I don't know, somehow that pasta I ate really got me going here.
I don't know if we've even mentioned this, we probably have, but we just haven't had like a regular appetite on this trip somehow. But today was kind of like, we had a full proper meal, even though it was at like 3 in the afternoon. But
it was an early dinner.
We're also just energized by like being here, and like there's so much cool stuff to see, and there's so many people. And I don't know what it is about Rome, but it's just like,
somehow
feels exciting. There's energy.
Trevi Fountain is just covered in tourists. Oh my goodness. Let's try the side here.
I can't believe we emerged from that alive, to be honest. It's so crazy around here.
Everywhere you turn in Rome, there's a beautiful church, a beautiful cathedral. This church has an absolutely gorgeous fresco, a painting on the ceiling. Is the St. Ignatius Church, and the painting on the top of the roof. First of all, it's an optical illusion. The roof is an arch, but when you're looking at it in person, it really looks like the walls keep going up right into the sky. And second of all, the artist chose to depict like the 4 different continents. So
4 continents.
Yeah, I mean continents are made up anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really cool, beautiful art in this building. Here we are at the Roman Pantheon.
I had read online that if you want to go inside, you have to show up early because the line is like really long.
We've joined the line for the Pantheon.
Dan convinced me to do it.
We're still not sure if we'll make it in before it closes, because it closes in 15 minutes, but I don't know, I figure maybe now's a good time to go. Maybe now's when the lines are short. How freaking cool is this?
This is really cool. I'm honestly shocked that we got in here.
So this building that we're in right now was originally built as a temple to the Roman gods shortly after the year 100. We said we wanted to see some old stuff.
That is what we are here to see.
As the sun sets, it's time for gelato. When is it natto time for gelato?
Oh, this is so good.
The pistachio? Always a good choice.
I got the same flavors as last time. Also, this guy was so much friendlier than the last gelato person. Yeah. That brings us to the end of our first day here in Rome. Honestly, I didn't expect to see that much today because we just drove in this morning, but I feel like we've gotten to see a bit of a taste of everything, and it just makes me even more excited to keep exploring tomorrow.
Speaking of taste, that gelato was
so good. All right, we'll catch you in the morning. It's our first full day in Rome, and we are out here ready to take in that history, learn facts about ancient Rome, and see some really old stuff.
That seems to be our motto for this trip.
Yeah. First off this morning, we are headed to the Roman Forum. Today we are exploring the Roman Forum and Palatine Hill. We don't have a guided tour for any of this, so we downloaded the app and we are listening to the little audio clips about each
there's
stop.
A map on the app, and each spot has a number with a 1 or 2 minute audio clip about that thing. It's completely free, so that's what we're doing.
So let's go learn. A Roman forum is basically like a city center. When we were in Pompeii, we also saw the Forum of Pompeii. So this is where the center of all business and civic life would happen. This forum took many forms over the centuries as it burned down and new emperors would rebuild it. So there's lots of different sections and many different layers from different eras.
We're going to start by going up Palatine Hill to the top. That's where the Imperial Palace would have been. And then we'll work our way down into the Forum, into the sort of more public areas after that. Believe it or not, right now we're walking through the Imperial Palace where the Roman Emperor was located.
Right now we're standing in front of what would have been the main room of the palace. You can see there would have been really high walls here. The audio clip was talking about how there would have been timbers holding up the upper levels, and you can see where the holes in the walls for where those timbers would have gone in are still. And this main room would have been where the king, I guess, or
the emperor.
They went through a lot of different phases, okay? Whether it was the emperor, the king, whatever. And this is kind of the main big room of the palace where the emperor would have welcomed ambassadors or held formal audiences. Somewhere around here, there would have been some kind of basically he would have given addresses from this point at the front of the room.
It's like a stage.
Then, yeah, exactly. And then that stone there just commemorates the 18th century excavation of the site.
So that stone is
that's
kind of
more modern, yeah.
Behind us now is the emperor's private gardens where he would have gone for his stroll. It would have been highly decorated with fountains and statues.
Yeah, I thought it was like a sports stadium at first, but...
They call it the stadium, but no, it's just his private gardens.
Yeah.
2 reflections I have so far is, 1, maybe it's better to get a guided tour. We're doing okay with the audio app, the free app, but it's so quiet around here. This is nothing like Pompeii or even at the Coliseum. It is it's almost serene here. There's very few people here this morning. So maybe morning is the time to go to the Roman Forum. I know some people just don't come at all, or some people do the Coliseum first and then the Forum, so maybe it's busier in the afternoon, but it's a really nice, actually fairly tranquil place to be at the moment. I do feel slightly like some kind of foreign dignitary that Emperor Augustus has invited into his house.
That's what I was just thinking. How crazy is it that, 2,000 years ago, only the fanciest of the fancy people would come into this, and now we're just these Joe Schmoes wandering around the place.
Yeah, exactly.
They never would have thought it.
We're here at the edge of the palace now, and you can look down into the Roman Forum. So the emperor could have looked over this balcony into the Roman Forum below and seen what was going on in the city. Now that we're down in the Forum, it's first of all a lot busier, but this is like so crazy. It feels like you're walking down a street in ancient Rome. There's like temples all around, there's some shops and houses nearby too. It's so cool.
Now we're headed to the Coliseum.
And it's fascinating how sophisticated this all was.
Seriously.
They had like tickets made out of pieces of clay to symbolize your seat and row. The whole thing was organized by hierarchy, right? With the best seats going to sort of the senators or the upper class at the time.
So depending on your station in life, that would determine where you got to sit. But otherwise, admission was free.
We're learning a lot from our audio guide.
Yeah, I just found this free podcast from this guy who does like audio guides for all kinds of different tourist attractions around Europe, and it's well done.
So one thing that was clarified for me in the audio guide is that this floor was originally covered, and what we're seeing is like the underground network of rooms and trapdoors.
Like the backstage, basically. That's the
Well,
other thing
the
that's so
understage,
surprising is how elaborate it was. Like I feel like I did not even realize how much, you know, they had sets and like trapdoors and like elevators and all this stuff where they would really like make it this whole scene. Like
They would take a prisoner or a slave and just have them stand in the arena, and then from somewhere, you know, around an animal would emerge, or a piece of set, you know, a tree that...
And they would just literally set up like fake forests and like, or fake jungle, like all of this stuff to really like add to the
set
story.
the scene.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Over there you can see a cross. That's where the emperor himself would have sat. It's where historians say the emperor's box was. And directly opposite is where the Vestal Virgins would have sat. Those were the 9 celibate women who, I think they guarded the eternal flame or something like that.
Yeah, they guarded a flame.
They guarded a flame.
Well, our time here at the Coliseum has definitely not disappointed. This is so cool.
Absolutely. Again, this is one of those places that absolutely lives up to the hype.
But from here, we are ready for a very late lunch. It's 3 o'clock, and again, we haven't eaten lunch yet, so we're gonna head out and go find hopefully some more pasta.
We have absolutely been going since like 8 a.m. and it's after 3 p.m. now, so I don't know if this is late lunch or early dinner at this point, but we're hungry.
Come un bambino rotola,
Exactly what I've been dreaming of happening.
pure tu, e ho già gonfiati blu.
So we've left our Airbnb very early this morning to go make our appointment with the Pope.
Wow.
Actually though, we booked our Vatican visit starting at 8 a.m. because that was sort of like the last remaining time slot for the tour we wanted to go on. So we're just heading to the metro now.
Hey, if you've only got 3 days in Rome, you gotta pack them full.
Yeah, so it is just after 7 a.m.
realistic art, realism.
As it turns out, we picked the perfect time to come. We chose a tour time that was actually the same time as the Pope's weekly Wednesday morning audience, and so the Vatican museums were empty by typical standards.
There was honestly so much history to take in here, we could never report it all. From a fountain base recovered from Emperor Nero's famous gold palace, to old maps, even down to personal details about past popes. Apparently this particular gallery was commissioned by Pope Leo, who is known for his love of archaeology and photography. So there's actually a painting on the ceiling showing an old film camera. How cool is that?
Alright, we've just finished our guided tour of the Vatican museums, and we picked, I think, the perfect time to go.
So our guide kept saying, oh, you guys don't even know, like, we're so lucky, like, it's so quiet in here compared to normal. And I think it was a pretty calm experience.
That does mean we missed seeing the Pope this morning, but...
And I said we were coming for our appointment with the Pope, but I was joking.
But I'd rather see like the Sistine Chapel and all of this famous artwork. I think I'd rather see that with fewer crowds than
that
be part
I think was
of the
really cool.
absolute masses lined up to see the Pope.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that we both went in with like relatively little expectation about this. Like I don't think we really knew what this was going to be like. So my expectations were certainly exceeded. I was like, dang, there is a lot of really cool stuff in here, and we had a really great guide. So I definitely would recommend getting a guide, because I don't think we would have like understood the significance of any of the stuff that we saw if we didn't have a guide.
Our tour ended at the Sistine Chapel, which you are not allowed to take any pictures of. It's sort of a place of worship. Of course, there's all the beautiful art, including the finger thing.
Yeah.
This thing. We saw that in person. That, I mean, it's smaller than I realized.
Yeah, I sort of thought it would be a bigger room.
But it's breathtaking, just all the artwork. In general, like this whole place, it's just like, just covered in art.
This place was completely decorated head to toe by the Ninja Turtles themselves.
That's right. Raffaello, Michelangelo.
Yep.
The
Who
others.
are the other ones?
Donatello.
I almost said Leonardo DiCaprio. It's Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo. Those are 4 Ninja Turtles, right?
I think so.
Okay, yeah. Well, where's Donatello? We didn't see anything.
Yeah, he
like
was
Donatella
around.
Versace.
Maybe we need to do the tour again.
I don't remember them saying anything about Donatello, but I maybe just missed it.
He wasn't one of the big 3. He was a tag along.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm making that up.
He's like the bonus Jonas.
Anyway, we're clearly in good spirits here, despite our early morning.
It's only like 10 a.m. and we're already done the tour. No, but I think it was the perfect time to go.
Yes.
So I heard about Tonarello from a Kara and Nate vlog when they were here in Rome, so I was like, perfect, I've got a little bit of insight into like a secret little place in Rome. Well, it's very popular. It's clearly a very established like tourist place to come and eat, and the food was incredible, so it did not disappoint. But seriously, this place is like a machine. Like they have, I don't know, probably over 20 servers going right now, because there are like dozens of people sat out in the courtyard
restaurant
and inside, and yeah, they're just like, they're moving fast. So anyway, I respect it, and the food was delicious, so I feel like it totally makes sense why so many people come here. But I just think it's funny because I was under the impression that I had this like secret little tip from this vlog, but it's very much a draw for a lot of people. Our next step was St. Peter's Basilica. We waited in an over 2-hour-long line for this fancy church, but don't worry, we spared you the waiting and got you inside on the fast track.
inside St. Peter's Basilica, the largest church in all of Christianity. And it's just the scale of this building is incredible. I don't even know if it comes through on camera, but like we just heard that this building is 6 acres big. That when we stood at the back, the front of the church was more than 2 football fields away from where we were standing. It's just hard to imagine that kind of scale.
So we waited in line for like an hour to come inside here, and based on the crowds outside, I thought we would be shoulder to shoulder, just like shuffling through this place. But the fact that we're not, I think, is a testament to like just how big it is. That it still feels big and open in here, even though, like, I don't know, there's probably like over 1,000 people in here.
Yeah.
Maybe 2,000 people in here.
Oh, easily.
They said that they can hold 60,000 standing in a congregation in here at one time. So it's massive. It's absolutely huge.
This church is called St. Peter's Basilica after this guy, who is Peter, the disciple turned first pope, really. And his tomb, the spot where he is buried, is below that massive bronze altar. Well, the bronze canopy is above an altar, and about 20 more feet below that symbolic altar is where the actual bones, the actual body of Peter is supposed to be, is said to be.
It's crazy.
That is insane. Yeah. This church was built well after Peter died, of course, but they built it on the site, on the very spot where Peter's body was laid to rest. That's probably enough religious history for this vlog. Really cool. But maybe that's some helpful context in case you didn't know.
Those are Swiss guards.
Yeah, the Pope's bodyguards. And
they still wear those funky outfits.
We're just leaving the St. Peter's Basilica now. We also went down into the tomb below.
That was cool.
That was really cool. We
There
couldn't
was some
film.
old papas down there.
Some old papas. Oh wow. Whoa. So what time is it? 4:30.
I think it's gelato time.
Oh, it's always gelato time with you.
Yum. Always pistachio and coffee. I could venture out and try something different, but I just always go to those.
I got pistachio as well because the pistachio is so good. But I also got like field berry, and I'm really enjoying that too.
That is really good. And just like that, we are now on the road away from Rome. We are headed...
There is one of those? I thought all roads went to Rome.
Well, I think all Romes also then therefore leave Rome.
All Romes do?
All Romes.
All Romes lead to Rome.
Yeah. Today we're headed to Florence and then eventually to Venice. That's the game plan. But if you want to see those adventures, then you're going to have to subscribe because that's the end of the Rome video. I hope you enjoyed it. 72 hours in Rome. I do think we managed to see quite a bit. I know there is always more to see, and I'm already looking forward to coming back someday and eating that pesto pasta from Tonarello again, because that was just so good.
I think we definitely managed to make the most of it. We really packed it in. We had great weather, and we somehow managed to avoid the crowds a fair bit.
Yeah, we got lucky in a few spots.
At the Vatican Museum, at Palatine Hill, we really, I guess the lesson learned is do your research in advance and go early. Wake up early.
So as always, thank you so much for watching. We love you all. We miss you back home, and we will catch you in the next video. Oh my gosh, look at that city. This is so cool.
That's insane. It's all built in the same style, like as if it was all built at the same time.
Okay, for real this time. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye.